Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Elena.
I almost, and this is morbid. The amount of times that I almost say I'm Elena. Hello?
I love it.
It's so rainy today, so we're like goofball-y.
It is.
And I was saying, I got such a good sleep last night, and I don't think that's good for me. You can tell me that sleep is good for me. I disagree. I perform so much better when I'm like on less sleep.
Yeah. No, it is weird. I wake up easier when I don't have as much sleep.
Oh, I know. This morning I could not wake up because last night I went to sleep. I put my earplugs in because it was so freaking windy, and I have wreaths, so they were blowing on my window all night.
And you're enjoying that now.
Oh, I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
And please know, when I put in my earbuds, like my little earplugs, I think of you.
Yeah.
And I say, I know these days are numbered.
They're numbered.
Yeah. Not that I'm
Enjoy
pregnant to
them
the one
now.
fucking person who asked, but
Yeah, again, I say, don't ever fucking ask that question again. Just don't.
I'm just bloated, okay?
I'll say that every single episode. Don't ever ask someone that question.
Ugh. But
moving on.
anyway. But yeah, I slept really great last night, and I'm not better for it.
I actually slept really great last night, and I also am not better for it because I have a slight headache all day.
Oh, no.
All day, it's just been
I have
lingering.
a slight headache all day.
I like how you said
I've
that. Had one. I just took Excedrin. I've been drinking water like...
Did you eat lunch, though?
No, I just kind of like grazed.
Did you
through
eat
lunch.
breakfast?
No, I didn't.
That's why you have a headache.
Shit, that's the reason.
Have you had any water?
Yeah, I've been drinking water, like...
Okay.
I just refilled this for the third time.
Okay.
Water has been my friend. And I'm not like... I just keep forgetting to have full meals.
I know.
Lately.
Crazy girl.
Just been busy.
Good CrossFit
Don't
girl.
do that, though. I'm just a grazer, so I get in the habit of just, like, picking throughout the day.
I get grazing for lunch, but
Yeah.
you got to eat a brekkie.
I love a breakfast, too.
I know.
I think I just got out of my head this morning.
I prepped some pumpkin pie chia seed pudding for the week.
Ooh.
Shit slapped.
Slappity slap slap.
Slapped. And
That
then
sounds good.
we're approaching like fall and we're in fall and
I
we're
was going to say
approaching
we
winter.
are dead in fall.
Shut up. So yeah, I slept it. I'm not better for it. But now I'm making bread again.
Yeah.
I revitalized my little sarda.
Sarda.
So I'm well fed.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And I was gonna say my aura ring was like, I got a good sleep score last night for the first time in like months. And I think my aura is like, it literally was like, wow, great sleep score. And then it was like, but like, calm down still.
Like,
I think it was
going
literally
on?
like, don't get too excited.
It was like
You had one good sleep.
stick
like,
to
don't-
this.
Like my readiness was like, yeah, this is good, but like, don't go crazy, girl. Like, it was
Yeah.
literally like, don't you think that this is gonna happen all the time?
Well, you got to have a few nights of it before
Yeah.
you go crazy.
It was funny. It was literally like, don't be too excited.
It was
And I
like, hey,
whoa,
what the fuck?
way to ground me, Aura Ring.
It does humble you
It
sometimes.
does. I love my Aura Ring.
I know, and this is not an ad.
No,
but
they
I
do
love mine
not
too. I got
sponsor
you
us.
onto it. And
Yeah.
there's this thing where you can connect with other people, but I refuse to connect with you because we will get way too
It'll
competitive.
become a competition.
Even though we're not connected, we're like, what's your sleep score last night? Mine's better. What's
John
your
has
resilience?
one too, and his was 2 points above mine this morning, and I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your 2 points of
It makes
sleepy
you want to
butt.
like fist fight someone.
Yeah.
I get it.
He got the crown. It gives you a little crown if you're at optimal. And I didn't get the crown because I was 84. I think you have to be 85.
Oh, that makes sense. Drew is like a Apple Watch guy, and now that we have Dolo, he's like, I walked like 7 miles today.
And you're like,
I'm like,
I
shut
didn't.
up.
Shut up.
Don't say that to me.
Don't.
Because I
Don't
don't be
do
walking
it.
that much.
I know. I got to get off my ass.
I need to do more hot girl walks. Do you know that they say
Yeah.
that sitting is the new smoking?
I believe it.
And I did a lot of smoking back in the day, so
I
I
did
can't be
not.
continuing to sit and smoke.
I just want to get up and enjoy
die.
the fall weather.
I know.
I mean,
Well,
not today.
or the next day.
We're in the middle of like a nor'easter here in Massachusetts, but you know.
One thing about me though, I love a nor'easter.
One of my kids said there's 100% chance of a thunderstorm today, and I said, I love you so much. Thank you for sharing
telling
that
me
information.
You know
with
what
me.
though? Disappointing because I haven't heard one fucking clap of thunder.
Day isn't over yet.
Big truce.
It's only the afternoon.
I was gonna say big facts, and I said big truce.
big truths,
Big
big
truths out
facts,
here.
big feelings, big things.
All right,
you
I
know?
think we've talked enough.
I think we have, because this has been absolute nonsense.
People are like, "Hey guys, are you drunk?" No.
We had a more unhinged conversation before we pressed record.
Yeah, that will not see the light of day. That's not for the listener.
No, it's not.
I don't even remember what we said, honestly.
I do.
Oh.
I won't be sharing it.
It was about a couple things. Anyway,
It was about a couple things.
I'm going to talk about a couple things. Just kidding. It's
Hell
really,
yeah, you
It's
are.
really one thing, and it's a haunting.
A haunting?
I say. It's the Wyrick family haunting.
Oh, I don't
Shout
know
out-
the Wyricks.
I didn't either. Shout out to Dave.
David.
He knew of them.
David always knows.
And he said, "Let's do this case, Ash." And I said, "Okay."
okay, Dev.
Okay, Dave, I'll do whatever you say. I texted him. I said, "Boy, this was a good one." So
And did he say indeed?
let's see. Let's see.
What did Dave
I'll tell you
say?
exactly what he said. Maybe not exactly, but I'll tell you what he said. He said, "That story spins out of control eventually, but early on it's pretty creepy."
I love that he's like, it goes off the rails, but good luck.
It does in like a fun way,
Yeah.
sort of. All right, so let's talk about it. Throughout the summer of 1989, Andy and Lisa Wyrick, they had spent months looking for a nice, affordable house for themselves and their 3-year-old daughter, Heidi. And they were looking in Harris County, Georgia. They were a young family. They were living on a single, pretty modest income. So everything that they had seen so far felt very out of reach. It was not going to be doable. Even in like the smaller rural parts of the county, it just wasn't working out.
Rural juror.
Rural. It's so hard to say. So they started to feel like the situation was pretty hopeless. They were like, I don't know about this. But then in the fall, they were shown a small ranch house in Ellerslie, which is in central West Georgia. It's like an unincorporated town.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what that was. So I
Ooh.
Googled it. It means they don't have a town government.
Yeah, they're just reckless.
Yeah, there's like no...
Lawless.
That means there's no like post office. There's no police officers.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
It's a little bit scary.
They say we're unincorporated.
They are. They're
Unlike
off the
kids
grid.
Incorporated.
Exactly. So according to the realtor, the people who lived there before had abandoned the house a few months earlier.
I feel like that's a red flag.
It's the biggest.
Yeah.
So obviously the bank foreclosed it. And that was why it was being offered at such a low price.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to waste the only realistic opportunity that had come across their plate in months. So Andy and Lisa, they talked it over and they decided to put in an offer.
I get it.
They're a young family. They need a place to live.
Roll the dice.
Yeah, so luckily their offer was accepted a few days later. And Andy said, I was happy. I wasn't but 21 years old, had bought my own house. I thought I was really something.
Hell yeah, Andy, you were really something.
You were. That's crazy. I wasn't 21 when I bought my house.
No, so go Andy.
Good on you, Andy and Lisa. So for a young couple just starting out in life, their new house was everything that they wanted it to be. The only downside was that the neighborhood was made up of a lot of older couples, so there wasn't really any kids for Heidi to play with, which kind of sucked.
That's like a double-edged sword, because it's like, yeah, there's no kids to play with, but like old people as your neighbors.
Oh, hell yeah.
A plus. Like their
Well,
neighborhood watch.
Depending on the brand of old people.
That's true.
You get like really friendly old people who have candy in their purse and like will wave at you when you cross the road and stuff. Or you get really grumpy old people that don't like what you do with your house and they like yell at you about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like, fuck those old people.
I was like, do you have
Ignore
anything else to
this.
say? Do you have anything else to say on the old people
I just said
topic?
valid.
You said
valid
good
truths.
point.
I just really like that old people are always in everybody's business.
I lived in an old people neighborhood once and it was great.
Yeah.
Everybody
I love
minded
it.
their own business. And
I
there was,
highly recommend it.
yeah, there was a really good, remember the Halloween party?
Yeah.
Cute.
That's all I'm thinking
It
about.
was super cute.
And the neighborhood watch of it all.
Yeah, I love
They're
neighborhood
always like,
watch.
what the fuck is that car doing down here? Like, I love that.
That's also just me.
Yeah, some of
I'm
my
an old
neighbors are
person.
super old. They're just like, they know everything. We got a group chat going on. I love it.
Wow, you have a group chat
Oh,
going on?
hell yeah. My whole neighborhood.
Ooh.
We know the second somebody comes in this neighborhood that doesn't belong, we're like, who the fuck is that car? And everybody's like, oh, that's my cousin. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
a little too antisocial for a group chat neighborhood.
Oh, it's not a group
neighborhood
chat.
group chat,
The
I mean.
best part is about this group chat is we all are that way. So it's literally like, what the fuck is that car doing there? And somebody's like, oh, this person's having a party. Don't worry about it. And it's like, cool.
That's it. That's
That's
nice.
it. But I love when I'll get the like, what car is that? I'm like, yeah. What
Yeah.
car is that?
I love that. Well, okay, so this neighborhood was full of old people, so there's nobody for Heidi to play with, which stunk.
That sucks.
And, you know, it meant that Heidi spent a lot more time playing by herself than her parents would have preferred.
Yeah.
But she seemed happy enough. She didn't really seem to mind being alone. So they didn't really think about it that much. One afternoon, though, a few months after moving into the new house, Heidi asked her mom if she could go outside and play. And Lisa was like, yeah, totally. It's the 90s. Stay in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And then from where she was standing at the kitchen sink, Lisa could see that Heidi was sitting on the grass, and it looked like she was just having a tea party with her dolls. And a few minutes passed, and when Lisa looked up again, Heidi had appeared beside her in the kitchen, and she asked if it was okay if she went on the swings to play with the man.
No. No.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
So the question caused Lisa's stomach to drop immediately, and she was like, what now?
What man?
Years later, she told a reporter that her immediate thought was obviously that somebody was trying to kidnap her daughter.
Yep.
So she looked out the window toward the swing that was hanging from an old tree, but she didn't see anybody. But she was concerned that now somebody was lurking outside, so she told her daughter to stay put, and she went into full mama bear mode, grabbed a huge knife from the kitchen drawer,
Hell yeah.
and slowly walked out into the yard, just frantically looking in every direction for who she needed to stab.
Yeah. Because if some man is asking my child to play on the swings, I am going to stab them.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's it.
It's called self-defense. Look it up.
It's called being a mom.
This isn't professional advice, but
yeah, no.
it's mom
It's
advice.
just what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you do. I'm doing that.
I would, yeah.
You're a man who asks my child to do anything, I'm going to stab you.
Yeah, I love that. Put that on a shirt.
That's it.
So she's out there, she's like looking around for who to stab. And it was only when a neighbor passing in a car stopped to ask if she was okay that she realized how bizarre she looked.
Just creeping around with a knife.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So she was like, oh, yeah, like I'm fine. She didn't find anybody, so she just went back inside. In the kitchen, she called her husband and was like, hey, you need to get the fuck home immediately. She was like, I didn't see whoever it was that approached Heidi, but a man approached her and asked her to play, so please get home ASAP. She waited, and she sat Heidi down and talked to her about the importance of not talking to strangers, not playing with strangers.
Good parenting.
Yeah. And then about a half hour later, Andy got home, and Lisa filled him in again on what happened. He shared his wife's concerns, and he grabbed a pistol from the gun cabinet and also went out into the yard.
Honestly,
He searched
just parenting up in these parts.
Yeah, he searched the entire property. He even went as far as to go in his truck and drive around the neighborhood.
Love these people.
Like, he was like, I will find who asked my daughter to play.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't know if he was trying to lure her off, abduct her, kidnap her, because you don't know about people these days. But
No,
I
you
never,
don't.
and he said, but I never did find nothing.
No. And that was in like the early 90s.
Yeah.
They didn't know about people in those days. Pfft. Welcome to 2025, my friend. You really don't know about people these days.
Exactly. I love that they just went full send, though.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Let that person know. You don't ask my kid to do anything, or I'm coming at you with a pistol and a knife.
Yeah, and my truck.
Yeah, in my truck.
In my truck. So as the weeks passed and Lisa and Andy's concerns subsided a bit, they let Heidi go outside and play by herself again in the yard. It was the 90s. Not long after
Wouldn't have done that, but
not long after she started talking about a new man, and she called him Mr. Gordy. According to Heidi, Mr. Gordy was a very nice older man who would come by the house whenever she was outside. She said he was average height, gray hair, and he always wore a dark suit.
Okay.
So the mention of Mr. Gordy raised her parents' concerns about predators, obviously.
Indeed.
But Heidi didn't seem afraid of this man. She actually seemed pretty enthusiastic about having a new friend, and she just would talk about Mr. Gordy constantly. Lisa said she would tell me that Mr. Gordy had come to her when she was in bed and talk to her. He would sit on the bed and just sit there and talk to her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, he said this seems like a nice guy.
Seems friendly, yeah.
Because obviously he's not real. So,
or is he?
I would assume.
I don't know.
Unless he's coming in her room at night.
I don't know. So in the days that followed, Lisa checked in with neighbors and asked if the name and description sounded familiar, but none of her neighbors knew anybody by that name, and they hadn't seen any unfamiliar old men in the area.
Mr. Gordy's around.
Yeah, exactly. So she was like, all right, maybe this is kind of like an imaginary friend.
Yeah, like Skeleton.
Yeah, like Skeleton, Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
Naughty Martha.
Yep.
So whenever either of her parents would ask where Mr. Gordy lived, Heidi would point to the sky and say, up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Still, Lisa...
This is the hard part of parenting. Just so you
I know. This is the shit I'm not looking
when
forward
you really
to.
got to keep it together and be like, cool,
Awesome.
fun. I am not terrified at all.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Lisa wasn't entirely convinced that there was nothing to be worried about, so she
Yeah.
stayed vigilant. She said after she described him, I kept my eye on her a lot more than I normally would have.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good parenting.
Yeah. So as time passed, Mr. Gordy just was a regular fixture in the house. Heidi would bring up the subject of her friend on a daily basis. They even would humor her when she brought him up. They'd set an extra plate at lunch for Mr. Gordy.
That's nice.
It is. Lisa said, I didn't see any harm in having an imaginary friend, especially when she didn't have anybody else to play with.
Oh.
But privately, she did start to wonder if it was healthy for Heidi to be so consumed by somebody who wasn't real.
There's a fine line.
That's the thing. And I think they were specifically worried because she's 3, so she's not like I don't know if she was in like preschool or daycare really. It doesn't sound like it.
She's not seeing a ton of other kids right now. So.
Right, so they're like, is this okay? So one afternoon, a few months after they moved in, Heidi was playing in the living room alone when she heard a faint knocking at the door. And she jumped up, ran over, and she opened the door to find a man she didn't recognize standing before her. She said he seemed confused and upset and that his shirt was covered in blood.
Oh.
And so she asked him who he was, and she thought he said that his name was Con. And she was like, are you hurt? Do you need help? But he didn't respond. He just kept staring at her.
Close that door.
Yeah, close that door right
lock
now.
that door. Call someone.
So needless to say, the presence of a bloody man obviously made Heidi uneasy. She's a little girl.
Yeah.
So she ran into the kitchen and she told her mom there was somebody at the door covered in blood. And at first, Lisa thought that she was talking about Mr. Gordy. But when Heidi was like, no, I don't know this man and he's covered in blood, Lisa was like, oh, okay. Like her heart sank.
Oh, boy.
She told a reporter later, Heidi said he was wearing a blood-soaked white t-shirt with a bandage on his arm and that he was younger than Mr. Gordy and scarier.
Oh.
Yeah. So that feeling of terror that she felt when Heidi first mentioned Mr. Gordy was back. And for the second time in a matter of months, she grabbed a kitchen knife and ran out into the yard.
Damn.
But again, she found nothing. She said, I felt kind of stupid looking for something that didn't really exist, something that might have been made up. So I just kind of played it off when she would talk about him, and I'd laugh with her and agree with whatever she had to say.
Yeah, because what the fuck do you do at this point?
You go to a child psychologist.
This is Sixth Sense shit.
That's all I could think of.
Yeah.
So the weeks went on, and Heidi didn't mention Con again, the bloody man.
I don't like Con.
Yeah. It's scary. So
I was going to say, is there more to Con?
I don't know.
More to come for Con.
Yeah. Just hang with
hang
with that.
Con. Okay.
So yeah, she didn't mention him again. So Lisa and Andy just assumed whatever it was that had led their daughter to make up such an alarming story had passed.
Yeah.
You know, kids, especially like little kids, make up stories all the time. They say weird shit that we are like, what are you talking about?
Can confirm.
So they were like, she just has a really active imagination.
Yeah.
And she didn't seem scared anymore. She started talking about Mr. Gordy again. So it didn't seem like a ton of reason to be super concerned.
Yeah, Mr. Gordy's back. So.
Yeah, they were just like, all right, that was fucking weird. I guess we won't like return her just yet.
Yeah.
So initially, the mention of these 2 fictitious characters by Heidi had scared them, especially since the second of the 2 was covered in blood.
Yeah.
But when neither man appeared to frighten her or freak her out in any way, they just decided to follow her lead, not make a big deal of it. Mr. Gordy remained a fixture, but she stopped kind of talking about the bloody man. So they figured, this all passed. But that calm in the home was finally disrupted about 14 months after they moved in, when Heidi started talking about a new character. Unlike Mr. Gordy, who was her kind companion, or Con, who, his appearance kind of seemed to be a fluke, the description of this new man was vague and very threatening. She didn't bring him up as often as she talked about Mr. Gordy, but when he did come up, it was very clear to Lisa and Andy that the presence of this guy terrified Heidi. Whoever or whatever she was seeing, she said he would always appear in shadowy parts of the house, wearing all black, that they had a hood pulled tightly around a face that she could never quite describe. Yeah. And for the first time since they moved in a year earlier, she started to feel unsafe. Like she was telling her parents she was scared.
Oh, I hate that.
She started sleeping in their bed for weeks. And when they finally could get her back into her room, she wouldn't go to sleep if the lights were turned off. Like she was genuinely terrified.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So for the first year, she seemed happy to play by herself, occupying her time with Mr. Gordy, tea parties, that kind of thing. And to Lisa, that seemed like it was enough to compensate for the lack of kids in her life. But after this latest imaginary character, she started to wonder if Heidi's imagination had created more dramatic imaginary figures as a way to get her parents' attention.
Yeah.
And she was like, I think we need to do something about this.
Yeah.
So she was concerned that her daughter didn't have enough of a support system. So she turned to her family. She'd always been really close with her family. And since they moved to the new house in Ellerslie, she hadn't been able to see them as much as she would have liked to. So when the house next door went up for sale, she called her sister Joyce and was like, hey, there's a house for sale.
Bitch, you want to move in?
What if you moved in next door? Joyce and her husband weren't even in the market for a house at this point, but they were like, it'd be pretty cool to live so close to like my sister and my niece, so let's do it. So they bought the house.
That's sick.
So not long after Joyce and her husband moved in, Joyce started actually noticing that Heidi was talking to herself in the yard a lot. And she was like, that was weird. Like, I was a little bit concerned about that. She asked Lisa about it, and Lisa was like, yeah, like, I think she has an imaginary friend. She kind of like plays with him all the time. And she explained that Heidi's imaginary friends were actually one of the reasons that she wanted Joyce to move closer in the first place. She was like, you know, maybe she'll rely a little bit less on her imagination. And they also decided to get Heidi a dog. They got a mixed breed shepherd that they named Sheba.
Oh, Sheba. Sheba's here.
So one afternoon, about a month after Joyce and her husband moved in, the previous owner of the house, Miss Kelly, that's how she's known.
Excuse me.
They're from the South, so they're like, that's like
Miss Kelly.
You know. So she stopped by with some documents related to the house that she thought Joyce might want to hang on to. And Joyce was kind of just like flicking through a folder of documents. And she stopped when a signature on Miss Kelly's mother's estate jumped out at her. Mr. James S. Gordy. Mr. Gordy is
Shut
real.
the fuck up.
So immediately she's like, that's weird.
I hope
that's
he's lovely.
Yeah, well, she's like, that's weird. Like, that's my niece's imaginary friend's name. Like, what are the odds? So she asked Miss Kelly who the man was, and she's like, hey, what does his name mean here? And Miss Kelly explained that James Gordy had been a lifelong family friend, and he was actually the executor of her mother's estate when she passed.
Shit.
Yeah. And he was her business manager, kind of like a de facto caretaker of the estate.
Wow.
So Gordy lived just a few houses down from this family with his wife Frances until 1974 when they moved to Columbus. Joyce said, I had this big great knot in my throat because that was the first time we had seen the name. I immediately thought, I wonder if this is the same Gordy that Heidi's been talking about.
Holy shit.
So Miss Kelly described Mr. Gordy, and it was like Heidi herself was describing him. He was a kind older man, he had silver gray hair, and he always wore a dark suit.
Holy shit.
Which is exactly what Heidi said. So Joyce was like, okay, you know, like maybe I can put this mystery of her imaginary friend to rest, but
don't worry, it's just a ghost.
That's the thing. Like she's like, that's not super calming.
Don't worry, it's not an imaginary friend. It's just a fucking ghost.
Yeah. Well, and also she was like, is she seeing this guy? Like he lives a couple houses down. Maybe like he toots by and is like, oh, like hello.
Yeah.
And goes about his day.
Because is he dead?
Well, she didn't know yet.
I didn't even think of that.
She didn't know yet. So she was like, oh, okay. Like where does he live now? Like you said he moved to Columbus.
Yeah.
And Miss Kelly looked at her and was like, James Gordy died in 1974.
Okay, good. I'm glad he's not just driving by being like, hi, little girl, you want to play on a swing? Because I'd be like, that's scary.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
Somehow that's scarier than him being a ghost.
I'd rather him be a ghost.
Yeah, I would much rather that.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just being like, you got some crazy shit in this house. Like,
exactly.
Let me hang around and make sure it's okay.
Let me protect you.
Mr. Gordy.
Yeah.
For life.
I love it.
Yeah.
So later that day, Joyce told Lisa what she heard.
Oof.
Including the part about Mr. Gordy having died more than 2 decades earlier.
Yeah, about that.
And Lisa was like, so my 4-year-old's just hanging out with a ghost?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I believe that. But she also couldn't help but be curious about the lead that her sister had uncovered. So she went to the library and she started scrolling through the microfiche of the local paper from 1974 until she found James Gordy's obituary. And it was exactly what Joyce had said. He had been a fixture in their small community all his life. He lived just a few houses down, and he had died in 1974.
James Gordy.
So Lisa was like, okay, like, what's that mean for my family and my daughter that she's hanging out with a ghost?
Like, what the fuck?
But she decided that she needed to tell Heidi who he really was. Like, she wanted to be honest with her.
Yeah.
So she sat her down, and she said, it's kind of hard to describe the feeling that you have. I said, Heidi, Mr. Gordy has passed away. He's not a real person. And she said, well, Mama, he's real to me. He's as real as you are.
Whoa.
Isn't that wild?
He's also adorable.
James Gordy is adorable.
Look at this man. Just like, imagine him just been like, hey
girl, I'll push you on the
Mr.
swing.
Gordy.
He was like, I won't let that weird demon guy near you.
Yeah, like Mr. Gordy. I love that she's like, as real as you, mama, I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But
Shots
isn't
fired.
that so cool to think about though? Because like she wasn't seeing him as like
The spooky ghost character.
yeah, or like translucent or anything like that
It's
in
just
any
a
way.
real
Just like
person.
full-bodied real human. Like that's crazy to me,
That's wild.
right?
Yeah.
So she was like, she didn't even believe that he was dead. She was like, nah, like, and obviously she doesn't really understand the concept of ghosts
She's like, I'm
yet.
4.
Yeah, she's like, whatever. So after the revelation that Mr. Gordy was probably a ghost, Lisa and Andy were no longer convinced it was a great idea for Heidi to invest a lot in her relationship with him, imaginary or otherwise. Lisa said years later, what do you do when you think your child is seeing something that you can't see? You can't even talk to them and say, leave her alone, go back to where you came from.
Yeah.
So when Heidi learned that Mr. Gordy had died, she actually asked her parents if they could go see his grave. Because she was like, I don't know if he died. Like, he looks as real as you do. So Lisa was like, okay, like maybe it will help the process of her letting him go. Like,
There's
I don't
nothing
know.
in the parenting handbook that tells you how to handle these situations. So I think they're doing a great job so
I
far.
think so too.
Like they're doing what they can do.
And she's like, we don't want her to be like attached to this man. And like,
but you also don't want to like rip the idea away from her and be
Right.
like, no, you can't. For like this is hard.
and like she's a 4-year-old, so she's not really fully understanding
Grasping.
life and death.
No.
So they're like, well, when you die, like you go here, you know?
Yeah.
Like
And she's like, let me see.
exactly. So
right.
a few days later, Lisa, Heidi, and Lisa's father-in-law drove to the cemetery where Mr. Gordy was buried, and the car had barely come to a stop, and Heidi jumped out of the back seat and ran straight to Mr. Gordy's grave. She was
That's fucking
4 years
terrifying.
old. She could not read, and obviously she hadn't memorized the layout of a fucking cemetery.
No.
But she knew the exact location of his grave and ran over to it.
I think she's seeing Mr. Gordy, guys.
She
I'm on board
absolutely
with
is.
this.
I'm like, was he over there?
Like he's just like, hey, I'm over here.
Like,
Makes sense.
hello?
Yeah.
So Lisa and Andy are like, all right, like, we don't really know how to process this. Like, we're not having a great time out here.
No.
But at the same time, they were like, well, it doesn't seem like she's distressed about it.
That's the thing.
So they were like, okay, like, I guess you can hang
he
out
seems to be nice.
with Ghosty Gordy.
Yeah, well, hey, that's what I do with Skeleton. I was like,
Yeah.
he's a nice guy, you say?
But that's like so
So-
different. That imagine finding out Skeleton's backstory and that he lived like a few houses down
Yeah.
a few decades ago.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
that would rock your shit.
That would rock my world.
And you'd be like, should this grown man ghost be hanging out with my kid?
That's the thing.
Like, that's a lot.
That's a lot to take on.
That's a lot to swallow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I just said, she didn't seem stressed. And she also hadn't brought up Khan very much lately, or that other dark figure that really scared her.
That's
so they
good.
were like, I guess this benevolent spirit is a better
We're
alternative.
just going to go with it.
Yeah. But a few months after finding the grave at the cemetery, all of that would change. And Lisa was like, I think that there's something more happening here.
Uh-oh.
So one night in spring of 1990, Lisa and her niece Kelly were just sitting in the living room at the Wyrick house. They were actually arranging flowers for an upcoming wedding. And they started hearing weird noises in the kitchen. Sheba, their dog, who was Sheba, who was lying on the floor beside the couch, got up and went into the kitchen. So they were like, okay, like, we're not crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Sheba hears it too. And a few moments later, Lisa and Kelly could hear Sheba growling and snarling.
Ooh.
So they were like, what the fuck? So they go in the kitchen, they try to see what it is, and there was nothing there. Kelly said it was like Sheba could see something, but we couldn't see anything. That was terrifying. A few days later, Sheba ran away and never came back.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Sheba ran away, and they literally never saw Sheba again.
I have 2 things to say about that. 1, holy shit, that's terrifying. 2, what a shitty dog. What a shit dog.
Well, he was a puppy.
I can tell you right now,
little puppy.
Blanche would fuck an otherworldly creature up for me.
Honestly, I was like,
that's a shitty dog.
I know. I was like, it's a puppy, but
That dog just abandoned his family.
well, whatever he saw must have been really scary.
Yeah, and he said, you guys can deal with it. Good luck. Like, what the fuck
said,
kind
"Listen."
of dog did they get?
He said, listen, you're the parents.
Damn.
I know. Dolo last night was literally we have like a front room area in our house, and it's like super dark, and she was just barking into the abyss of the dark room for no reason. There was
Yeah,
no
because she was like,
sound.
I'll fuck someone up for
So
you.
I fully think she would
John-
go crazy.
Blanche, again, I think I've said this before, Blanche will wear John's skin if she could. Like, she loves John so much. She
John
loves John more than
leaves.
anything has ever loved
John
anything.
leaves and she goes and sits on a chair that faces the driveway
just
and waits for
waits.
him to come back.
Like she wants to wear him. She loves
She
him.
does.
If he jokes about like poking me or tickling me,
Yep.
she will dive from the other room, come
Yup.
running in, and she will literally like growl bark jump on him, like literally go to bite him until he walks away.
Yeah.
And then she's like, love you. But she's like, don't fucking
Love
touch
you.
her. Like, she is my girl. And if he like play tickles the girls too, she attacks them.
Well-
Like, she will not let anyone touch us. That bitch, my girl Blanche. I mean, Sydney might sleep through the whole thing. She would never leave. Blanche, fuck something up. She would.
Sheba?
That bitch would never leave me to
Sheba
deal
was
with a
out.
ghost. I'm really upset about Sheba.
I know you're big mad. Big
what
Red
the
is
fuck?
big mad.
Because dogs,
I know.
in general,
I know.
will lay down their life for you. Like they just once you're their family. I'm like, damn.
I mean,
Like,
this-
wow, Sheba.
I feel it. That's what I feel like. This whatever Sheba saw had to be really bad.
It certainly did.
Like so bad.
yeah.
Like maybe even Blanche and Sydney would like at
No.
least like I didn't say it run away and you never see them again. But they would tuck their tails.
They would.
You know,
Yeah, I could see that
you never know.
for sure.
So here's the thing.
I'm really upset about
That
it.
really sucked that they never saw Sheba
Yeah,
again.
that's a
But
lot.
It was also the first time that somebody other than Heidi had seen or heard something supernatural in the house since they'd moved in like a year and a half earlier.
Yeah.
And that fact frightened the shit out of Lisa. She was like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
So wanting to learn as much as she could out about the property, she called Miss Kelly.
Miss Kelly.
Yeah, the previous owner of her sister's house, if you didn't remember. And she asked if she would come over for a visit. Miss Kelly's family had lived in the area for like generations. So Lisa was like, if anybody knows anything about what's going on here, it's going to be Miss Kelly. So Miss Kelly told her that she'd never seen anything unusual and never had any kind of supernatural experiences on around the property. And as far as she knew, no one in her family had either. So she was like, can't really help you there.
Sorry.
But what she did do was she brought a photo album that had pictures of the property that proved to be vital to solving one mystery. Lisa and Heidi were just like flipping through the album of old photos, and Heidi stopped at one black and white photo, and it showed a group of 5 men standing in front of a house that Lisa recognized as her sister's house next door. And Heidi pointed to one of the men in the photo and said, "That's Con, the one with the blood on his shirt."
What?
Like pointed him out. So Miss Kelly looked at the photo and she was like, "Oh, that's my uncle. His name is Lon."
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's weird.
That's literally crazy.
Yeah.
His name was Lon Batchelor, and when he was a teenager, he got his arm caught in a cotton gin,
Oh.
and it was torn off just below the elbow.
Oh.
And he lived on the property until his death in 1957.
What the
So she had
fuck?
literally like experienced some kind of residual haunting. Because he ran next door and like knocked on the door, obviously, because Heidi opened the door and he was asking for help.
Yeah.
And his elbow was like bandaged and he was covered in blood.
Oh my God.
So like that's fully a fucking residual haunting.
that's terrifying.
And the fact that like she got his name so close.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-year-old, so or like a 3-year-old at the time, so she probably just like
Yeah.
repeated it wrong.
Yeah,
But
of course.
that's fucking crazy.
That's terrifying.
And Lisa was like, "Yeah, this is so scary because now 2 imaginary friends have turned
Have
out
been
to
confirmed.
Like that's the thing." She said, "Just to know the fact that he passed away and had lived on the land scared me to death."
Yeah.
But it also suggested that maybe there was other entities lurking about the property, including the dark figure that she was absolutely terrified of.
yeah, who's
little
that
Heidi.
motherfucker?
And a few nights later, those fears became even more real. So days later, Andy was out of the house, and this one just fucking ruins me. So Andy's not home. Lisa gets out of the shower and she's blow drying her hair in the bedroom. And Heidi was sitting in her parents' bedroom just like looking at a book, and the bathroom's connected. So at one point, Heidi stopped looking at the book and she crawled to the end of the bed to get her mom's attention in the bathroom. And Lisa was like, "Yeah, like what's up?" And Heidi goes, "Are you sure you won't be scared if I tell you this?"
Nope.
And
Can't promise that, babe.
Lisa was like, "Yeah, totally. Like, what's up, girl?" Heidi looked her mom dead in the eyes and whispered, "There's a man behind you."
Oh. Oh.
I would run out of the house. We'd be going to Wendy's to get a faux faux. I would get the fuck out. I would need a faux faux.
I would cry.
I would run out of the home. I don't care in what state of dress I was in. Grab your robe and go.
That would be one of those situations where, as a parent, you just sit there, and I think one single tear would
just
probably
slowly.
escape my eye, and I would probably just stand there and be like, "Yeah,
Yeah?
it's real."
You sure?
Like, what do you do? What do you do? You just like, what? Where is
Yeah.
he? It was like when the girls told me about the kids, the people with the
scissors.
and I said, where are they? And they said, all around you.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
You were just standing in the middle of
You got to keep
angry
it together.
mob of scissor carriers.
Because you sit there and you're like, okay, what do I do here? Do I fuck my kid up? Or do I hold it together and maybe get my ass killed?
I think
You hold it together and maybe
my
get your ass
killed.
scissored. I didn't know what was going to happen.
I think Lisa, she was brave like you.
Yeah, you got to.
But inside, I think she was freaking out.
100%.
Yeah.
I would want to vomit all over myself.
Well, the thing was, it seemed like figuring out the real identities of Mr. Gordy and Lon kind of opened up like a door in the house. And now it seemed like they were just having terrifying experiences on the regular.
So she's like, cool, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, I love
Fun.
Tuesdays. So a few months after Sheba had run away, and just a week or two after Heidi was like,
Abandoned
hey,
the
there's a
family.
man blow drying your hair.
Damn.
Lisa and her niece. I'm just dying at your hatred of Sheba.
I'm real mad at Sheba.
Fuck Sheba.
Give them dogs a bad name.
So a few weeks after that, Lisa and her niece Kelly had another scary experience. They were sitting in the living room just chatting, and they heard like a shuffling sound in the kitchen. And Sheba wasn't there to confirm anything.
No,
for
she
them.
wasn't.
So both of them looked up in the direction of the dining room table just in time to see one of the chairs swing out from the table and slide toward them from across the floor, stopping from like a few feet from where it had been.
That also makes me think that this ghost was just like, girls,
Yeah.
I'm coming to sit.
I want to join
What's
you.
up?
Who are we talking shit about?
today?
Yeah, right?
I'd be like, you want to just chat? Like,
So
what's
scary.
going on?
So scary.
What do you do?
I don't know. Well, and Kelly goes, when you're there in broad daylight and a chair just moves, you don't really have any alternative but to believe that there's something in the house.
Yeah, what else what else could that be?
I mean, I have
That
no
it just
idea.
swings out from the table and like scoots over to you? I'd be like, okay.
I'd be like, join us?
Hey.
Question mark?
Do you like want something to drink?
Like, who do you talk shit about?
What's going on?
What's your
You got any
afterlife
tea?
issue? You got the hot goss of the
Yeah.
afterlife? So after 2 years in the house, or almost 2 years in the house, during only which time, like, usually Heidi was the one to see anything unusual, and like the entities in the house, whatever they were, now they were making their presence known to everybody in the house. And not long after Lisa and Kelly experienced the chair moving on its own, Heidi started to see the dark entity moving around the house again. Except this time she was convinced that it wanted to hurt her.
Oh, I hate that.
One night, everybody was asleep, and Heidi went into her parents' bedroom and woke them up and said the dark man had been in her bedroom, and she was terrified.
I would want to.
You just made me literally shit my pants. I didn't actually shit my pants, but I truly almost shit my pants, Michael. Michael, you know what? You're fired.
I think my aura ring is going to be like, oh, you died. Like, I think it's going to be like, oh, R.I.P. you. My heart stopped.
Mine felt like it kind of exploded throughout my body.
Mine literally
like it was
just
just
went-
like a firework.
Like, it just stopped. It was like, oh, you should be dead.
Our music is creepy.
It is.
Damn.
Especially during this kind of thing.
My God.
Also, I'd want to kill that shadow man.
Oh.
I know he's probably already dead, but I would want to
Bring him back to life.
so I could kill his ass again.
You want to kill him now?
You're in my kid's room. I'll fuck your world up.
Yeah.
buddy.
Not only was he in her room, this time they saw fresh scratches on her cheek.
Oh, it's on site.
They said it literally looked like an animal with claws had swiped at her.
It is on site.
So that
I would burn
felt-
that house to the ground.
Oh, I would be out of there.
Yeah.
I would be out of there.
Light it ablaze.
But also it's like they don't have like a ton of money to buy another house. They got this house, like they got a good
know.
deal on this house.
Because I was going to say, just ask Esther Cox in the last story we did. She burned down a barn and she stayed in jail for like a month.
It's true.
So
She had supporters.
she did.
This was a little more current.
It's a little different.
I don't know.
A little different.
I don't know if the Georgians would take kindly
Yeah,
to
I don't
Lisa
know
and Andy
about that.
burning their house down. But so this attack felt like a warning.
Yeah.
And it was one they were like, yeah, I hear ya.
Got
That
it.
night they went over to Joyce's house and they stayed there until the next morning. If they hoped that a night away from the house would calm whatever was in Heidi's room the night before, they were wrong.
Yeah.
The next night, they all died. I'm like, how are you guys going to sleep in here?
Yeah, no, you got to go somewhere else.
So they go to bed.
You're close to your family. Stay with family.
I know. Andy wakes up in the middle of the night to this burning, intense pain in his side. He said he jumped out of bed and ran in the bathroom to look in the mirror, and he saw 3 scratches on his side that looked just like the scratches that had been on Heidi's face the night before.
Damn.
Yeah. He said, as soon as I woke up, my side was burning just like fire, and I had 3 claw marks going up my side. I knew that something was doing it, but I didn't know what.
Hate that.
Hate it so much. He woke up again the next night in the middle of the night, and this time there was even more scratches across his whole body. Lisa said he had them down his back, his legs. These were deep, long gashes, and it went on for several nights.
No.
She's like, how do you go to sleep after that happens even one time?
What are you supposed to do there?
I don't know. I think I'd probably rather sleep in the backyard than in the house.
Yeah, no.
I'd be like,
camp
we're
out.
camping tonight.
Yeah. I'd be like, we're camping forever.
You know, we live in our car now.
This is what we do
We're
now.
a van fam.
Yeah.
So after everything that had happened and everything they learned, Lisa and Andy started to wonder if it was safe for them to stay in the house at all, especially
not.
because Heidi was just terrified at all times now.
Yeah.
But like I said, like they're living on limited means. They can't afford to move.
I know, that's the thing. It's not as easy as just like,
You can't just pick
don't
up and
live
go.
there anymore. Like, just, nope.
Well, and like I said, they got a deal on the house, so they would have probably also taken a loss if
That's
they tried to sell it.
Yeah.
So before taking, a consequential step of defaulting on their mortgage, they decided to look for somebody who might be able to help them and, get the peace and calm in the house again.
Yeah.
On a trip to the local library, Lisa started looking up organizations and people who studied the paranormal. And one name that jumped out at her was Dr. William Roll. He has played like a huge part in the history of paranormal investigation, especially more like modern day investigations. He's a classically trained psychologist. And he's been involved in like some of the most high profile paranormal investigations in the US, including the alleged poltergeist in the home of a Seaford, Long Island family and the investigation into the telekinetic abilities of Tina Resch.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I think we've talked about that case before.
We
Not on Morbid, but I think you and I have like talked about it. And she was from Ohio. So he was at the forefront of the field since it started to kind of formalize in the 1950s. So Lisa was like, I feel like there's really nobody better suited to help us.
Yeah.
So she placed a call to his office. She kind of gave like a brief overview of everything that had been happening. And later he said, when Lisa called me, she was definitely upset. It was an unusual case in my experience because Heidi described somebody she had never met. But then Heidi described some frightening experiences followed by the scratches on her and her father. And that's very rare in the type of investigation that I do. But based on everything he heard, he was like, hell yeah, I want to investigate this.
Shit's going down.
And a few weeks later, he was sitting down with the family in their living room in Georgia. Just as he usually did at the start of his investigations, he started by interviewing the members of the family alone and together so that he could get their accounts of what they had seen and heard since moving in and, confirm that everybody was kind of telling the truth. He said, or in his experience with working with children, he knew that they obviously had a tendency to make things up and exaggerate, usually without understanding any kind of consequences. And he wanted to make sure that wasn't what was happening here. But he said, when I spoke to Heidi and I spoke to the whole family, they felt evidently sane. So he said, I think some shit was going on here.
Yeah.
So-
They don't seem cuckoo.
He said, I think this shit's really happening. So based on the interviews, he came to the conclusion that to Heidi, the entities that she interacted with looked and felt like they were real people. She said she could hear them, she could see them, she could touch them, and they looked to her just like any other adult would look. And that explained
crazy.
why a lot of them didn't really frighten her in the way that, like an entity would.
Yeah.
Like the dark entity. Or like it might frighten an adult if you saw a dead person.
Yeah.
So according to
Honestly,
Roll,
live people are scarier to me.
it depends on the situation, yeah. But you're not wrong. So according to Roll, Heidi was experiencing what he described as place memory events, which is events in people from the past whose energy had been retained in the ether and somehow broke through into Heidi's reality.
Obsessed with this.
He said she picked up those traces and in her mind constructed those persons like Mr. Gordy. That's what makes this case to me so unique. He said when he showed Heidi a photo array of various older men, she didn't hesitate to identify the one picture of James Gordy
Wow.
that he incorporated into the mix. So he was
That's
she
crazy.
was absolutely seeing this man.
Because Mr. Gordy, no offense to Mr. Gordy, he looks like a lot of kind older gentlemen.
Yeah, he's like a, like
I don't know if I could pick
he's
him
an
out of
older
a
white
lineup
dude.
very easily. So it's like, but she's spending so much time with him that she's like, oh, that's my guy.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's like,
she's like 4 too.
Yeah, she's literally 4 years old. And he's showing her like older men to be like, do you just like think that all old men are Mr.
Yeah,
Gordy?
like they all have silver hair.
But it's like, no, this is the one, and she knows it.
Damn.
Like that's big.
Yeah.
So his theory of place memory it's like complicated, but essentially he believes that the energy of people and the environment gets stored in the fabric of space and time.
I love that.
I'm like, I think he's onto something here.
He makes a lot of sense.
He says when there are major shifts in electromagnetic fields, that energy can break through into the present, and that can cause somebody to literally see a person or place just like it appeared in the past.
That's different than anything we've heard.
That's it. And it also kind of accounts for deja vu in a weird way.
Yeah,
That's
little bit.
what it made me think of.
Yeah.
But he said when Heidi saw those people like Mr. Gordy or Lon in the aftermath of his incident or his accident, William Rowe believed that her mind created like a narrative around what she was seeing to make sense of what she was seeing.
Okay.
And in that sense, he explained to her parents that she wasn't technically seeing ghosts, at least not as somebody might typically understand them. She was seeing a representation of something from the past.
Whoa.
Which is fascinating.
His way of describing it is like very fascinating.
It gets even more fascinating.
And like makes a lot of sense.
It kind
in a
of
weird
does.
way. Like you're just like, okay.
Well, because you and I say it a lot, I do think that ghosts
energy.
are made up of energy. Like, I think that's a big part of it. And I think it's like because energy can't be destroyed. Created or destroyed. Exactly. So it's like, I think there is something in us that is energy.
It's got to go somewhere.
And that's the thing. Like, it's got to continue on, and it like goes into space and time and like the ether.
This is very Donnie Darko.
It's so Donnie Darko. That's what I was thinking
Frank?
of. So, to further build his case, he and his associates started actually taking scientific measurements of the environment in and around the house. They read electromagnetic fields around the house, and they took temperature readings in all the different rooms. And he said the experience in a haunt site includes drops in temperature and sometimes increases in temperature. So among other things, he was particularly interested in Heidi's reports of seeing the dark entity around the house, and she usually saw him in her bedroom. And in that room, he found that there was a source of strong positive ions, particularly in the spot right next to her bed, which is where she would see the dark entity.
Oh, okay.
So according to him and other paranormal investigators in general, large concentrations of positive ions can have a negative experience on a person's mood and perception, and it can kind of cause us to hallucinate.
Whoa.
Yeah, and like think you see things that aren't there.
I love the science of all this.
Isn't
This
it
is
so
fun.
cool?
Yeah.
So after finishing his investigation, he came to the conclusion that it wasn't really ghosts or devils or demons causing the unusual experiences in the house. He said instead they were kind of experiencing a sort of hallucination caused by the natural environment in and around the house.
Okay. But where did the scratches come from?
That's the thing.
That's my next question.
We'll get there. He also learned that there was a seismic fault near the property that could also be affecting the energy around the house, and that could be what was causing the experiences in Heidi's room in particular.
Interesting.
So he provided the Wyricks with a plausible explanation for, why they were seeing what they were seeing, and he hoped that it would give their mind some peace. But Andy and Lisa appreciated the efforts, but they were a little bit unsatisfied because, like you said, the scratches.
Yeah.
Andy said, I think Dr. Roll is a smart man. I know what he said has got a lot to do with it, but I don't believe that's all there is to it.
Yeah, because you got to explain the scratches.
That's the thing. He couldn't include the scratches that appeared on Heidi or the scratches that appeared on her father. So that's...
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, like I can't.
Yeah, don't know
He's like,
about
I don't
that.
know about that.
It reminds me when you were saying like it's all like about the land essentially. I know I mentioned this before that like the Sylvia Brown of it all. Remember that psychic?
Mm-hmm.
There's like one clip of her where she gets something clearly wrong because she's not a real psychic. And in my opinion, it's my opinion. She gets something clearly wrong, and this person's like, yeah, I don't know, like nobody really lived Like, it's a new house, so, like, that doesn't make sense, whatever she had said. And she goes, honey, it's the land. And I immediately thought, when they're just like, so there's no ghost, and he's like, honey, it's the land.
Honey, it's the land.
That's his answer for what?
It's the land.
Why is this all happening? Honey, it's the land.
I need you to pull up that clip. Can you please pull it up?
Pretty sure that's what she says is, honey, it's the land.
I need to see this.
Our house is only 10 years old.
Honey, the land. How old do you think the land is?
Honey, the land.
Honey, the land.
And then she goes, all land is ancient.
I mean, all right, girl.
Sylvia Brown, if nothing else, always had an answer.
Good for her.
She's like, my house is only 10 years old. The
land, honey, the land.
Land is fucking old, you know?
Honestly, my house is new and I've had weird ass experiences.
Because, honey,
in my
it's
house.
the land.
Did I tell this story on the pod already?
I don't know.
The one where I was like, is she okay?
Oh, yeah.
That, in case I haven't, I'll just say
Yeah.
it really quickly. So I had Elena's kids over.
I just got chilled.
This
again
fucked
thinking
me
about
up.
This.
And it's one of the only haunted experiences I've ever had at my house. But I
This
was like,
one's wild.
I don't know if I've told Deb's in the pod lab today, so I'm telling Deb.
And she's like, what the fuck is this?
So I was, and I'm telling you guys too, so listen up.
Listen up.
Listen up. So I had Elena's kids over for a sleepover. And I went in to like check on them because like you do that in the night. So I got to check on them while they're at my house. And I'm like hella responsible for them. So
You
that's
are.
scary. So I go in. And I was like tucking the youngest in, and she was kind of like whimpering in her sleep a little bit. And I was like, oh, like, are you having a weird dream? And I was like rubbing her back. And I was sitting on the edge of her bed, and it was like a blow up mattress. So I was like right near the doorway, and it was like cracked a little bit. And I heard, is she okay? And I turned like to the point where I literally turned around because I thought it was Drew. And I turned, and there was nobody there. But I heard clear as day, is she okay?
Which also, what a great ghost.
I know.
That is, they're like, is she okay?
It
Like,
was-
is everything good?
I literally have like chills. It
I
was
literally have
the-
chills. Whenever you told me that, every time you bring it up, I get chills.
And I went to my bedroom and Drew was asleep. Like it wasn't even possible for him to have said that. And I could not calm down. It was like the weirdest feeling.
That's so creepy.
Honey, the land.
Honey, the land.
And I do live on really old, like super old land. So
like Massachusetts, honey, the land.
honey, the land. That
Oh
should
my
honestly
God.
just be Massachusetts slogan.
Welcome to Massachusetts,
Honey, the land. Put it on the side. Who do we call?
That's what we need. That needs to be some of our merch.
Massachusetts.
It needs to be a welcome to Massachusetts sign that says honey,
Honey,
the land.
How do we make it sound like that on the shirt?
People will know. You can't say honey,
there
the
will
land.
be signs.
You can't say honey, the land without saying honey,
Honey,
the land. Like,
People are like,
everyone
stop
knows.
saying it.
I will never.
Never.
I will forever
Look
say
forward to your merch. Okay. So Mr. Roll could not account for the scratches, but honey, the land. And as the years went by, the haunting continued. The Wyricks were trying to just like, live normal life, but shit was always going down.
Always.
Several years after they moved into the house, Lisa had a second daughter, and Lisa and Andy had a second daughter, Jordan.
Oh, congrats.
And Lisa's, I think she's like a stay-at-home mom. So that was occupying a lot of her attention. And by the time Heidi entered her teen years, Mr. Gordy kind of was like a faint memory from childhood. She wasn't like hanging out with him that much.
Bummer.
But in 2002, she told a reporter, "It's been a while since I've seen Mr. Gordy. I do miss seeing him. I always will. I considered him one of my friends."
Oh.
But unfortunately, while Mr. Gordy and Lon had disappeared from Heidi's life, the dark, faceless entity stayed
Oh, hate that.
and
for
just
her.
like menaced her from the shadows.
Ew.
Whenever he would appear, yeah. Now, eventually, the phenomenon at the Wyrick house became known to the rest of the residents living in Ellerslie because the story appeared on Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, hell yeah. it
In
did.
the fall of 1994. Like, the original one. I literally read Unsolved Mysteries. I hear that song and
Oh,
I
I
get
can
chills.
immediately. I can
scary.
just feel it.
I used to watch that with Judy all the time. I used to live with this older lady named Judy, and she was the tits.
She
We
was
used to
great.
watch Unsolved Mysteries and Law and Order and the Red Sox.
I always watched Unsolved Mysteries and then immediately watch Rescue 911, and that's why I am who I am now.
I love that. And honestly, Judy is why I am who I
Yeah.
am now. So, yeah, unsolved mysteries. But in the interview, Heidi described a lot of the ghosts that she saw around the house, including Mr. Gordy and Lon, and she told her aunt that Mr. Gordy informed her a lot of money was buried under Joyce's pecan tree. I don't know if they found it or not.
Guys,
We gotta find out.
figure it out.
We gotta find out.
Did they find?
Because
the
can you
money under
imagine if they
Joyce's
found a lot of money under the pecan tree?
pecan?
Pecan.
Or
Do you say
pecan tree.
pecan or pecan?
I don't know. I was just trying to figure that out. What do
I say
say?
pecan. It was a big
pecan.
argument on Halloween Baking Championship this year.
I look at that pecan, right? You're like, you do. Like, I know this about you. You say pecan. Did they find the money under Joyce's pecan tree?
Heidi,
That's the song of this segment.
Joyce pecan tree.
It's not going to be a recurring segment. Imagine if it is. If there's another story where we're like, did they find the money under Joyce's pecan tree?
It's not gonna be a recurring segment. I don't know. I can't find out. So
I think
I
they
guess we
did.
won't put that in.
They did.
But so eventually, when the press attention started causing problems for Heidi at school, the family decided to step back from the spotlight. They didn't do
Yeah.
any more interviews. That pisses me off. That like gave her issues at school.
Yeah, like people get it together.
I would want to be her friend personally.
This is why we can't have nice things, because people ruin it.
Yeah, they sure do.
You can't just be like, ooh, fun. Like they've got to go ruin her
fun.
experience.
So stepping back from the spotlight was obviously good for like Heidi's mental and social health. And it didn't really do much to stop the supernatural activity though. By the time Jordan was born, it had become a lot more aggressive in nature.
Oh.
In one of the more frightening incidents, Andy and Lisa went out for the night and left Jordan with a babysitter. And the babysitter went to check on Jordan at one point in the night, and she discovered a, quote, ribbon with 8 knots tied tightly around Jordan's neck. Yeah. Yup.
Here's my very cynical question. Did they look into that babysitter?
I don't know. I hope so.
Did we Corey check the babysitter?
Probably. They seem
You
like
know?
good parents, so I'm sure. I mean,
they do.
Lisa literally probably would have like grabbed a kitchen knife
what
if she
the
thought it was the babysitter. So
Like, what the fuck?
I don't think it was the babysitter. I think it was the Joests.
What the fuck?
AKA ghosts. Yeah. As the years passed, the activity continued, and it started involving other members of the family. There was a long period where Lisa would regularly hear a growling sound coming from her bed as she and Andy were like just trying to fall asleep. And Heidi kept seeing, obviously, that faceless dark entity. And in time, when Jordan got older, she started seeing and hearing spirits, particularly a little girl who she said had been killed in a car accident near the property.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So since the first visit from William Roll in the early 90s, they've continued searching for somebody who can help resolve whatever's going on there. They think there's a demonic infestation in their house.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree. They turned to Roll on a few more occasions, but because he doesn't believe that they're being haunted and instead believes that the phenomena has to do with like Heidi's kind of psychic abilities and like the electromagnetic fields, he was like, there's really not a lot I can do to help you.
Oh, no.
So they found some support from their church and a local psychic who shares the family's faith. That individual encouraged the Wyricks to rid themselves of the infestation through regular prayer and fasting. I don't believe that fasting's going to do it, but I hope that they find some relief there. But they rely on their Christian support network, and they do different things like they get anointed with oil to try to repel the spirits and expel the demons.
Whatever brings you comfort.
Well, and that's the thing. Whatever
If that
brings you comfort.
and feels like it works, then go forth and conquer.
Yeah, and it makes them feel good. They said like
Yeah.
it makes them feel empowered to stay in their house. But to date, they still are experiencing paranormal activity in the house.
Damn.
And that is the story of the Wyrick family haunting.
Holy shit.
Isn't that a crazy one?
I want this family. I want them to have peace.
I do too. I really like them.
I genuinely want them to have peace.
I know. As soon as Lisa pulled out a kitchen knife and went out into the backyard, I said, that's my girl.
Yeah, I said, that's my girl right there.
And then Andy started driving around the town and was like, I will fucking find whoever did this.
yeah.
I want to hang out with them.
Those are parents right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
What, you asked my kid to get on a swing with you?
I'll kill you.
I'll fucking kill you. Like, those
Yeah.
are good parents.
Fair.
They just are.
I just think it's crazy that not one time, but twice she would literally was like, oh yeah, like that's Mr. Gordy. And then it was like, oh, that's Con. And then
Yeah.
Con turned out to be Lon. Like,
Yeah.
what are the fucking odds?
That's wild.
Crazy.
That's a crazy story. That
Isn't
one was
it?
scary.
It's genuinely scary.
like that one genuinely scared the shit out of me.
Me too. It was freaking me out. And when I was doing it, the nor'easter was coming.
The nor'easter.
So
kid.
my wreaths were just bashing against the sides of my windows, and I was
Holy
home
shit.
alone, so it was freaking me out. And my
Holy
cats
shit,
were
kid.
acting weird. I hated it. But yeah, that is one of our haunted stories of October, brothers.
Damn. I mean,
I thought the
honey,
science-
it's the land.
Honey, it's the
You know,
land.
It is. It's
But
the
it's
land.
not even the land, though, because next door at her sister's house, everything is fine.
That's land too. It's got its own situation.
But I think everything's fine
Honey,
over it.
that
It's just good
land-
land.
Yeah, that's just good land.
Well, there are
honey.
good lands and bad lands.
There are
The bad lands.
the bad lands.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it's just the house. I think it's a haunted house,
Yeah, for sure.
and I want them to have peace.
I want them to have peace, but I also kind of want to go to there.
And Lisa and Andy, I think you're doing what you can, and I appreciate that about you.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, we'll have some more hauntings to come because
Yeah.
it's October, so we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep it weird, but not so weird that, honey, it's the land.
honey, it's the land.
Honey, the land.